And one of my buddies comes up and he goes, hey, you good? I said, I don't, what do we do now? And he said, now we find the computers. Like, we do this every night. Hundreds of times, man. We've done this. I said, yeah, you're right. I'm back. Holy shit. And his words to me were, yeah, you just killed Osama Bin Laden, so your life just changed. Get to fucking work.
All right, guys, before we get into today's episode, I want to talk about Game Time. The NFL is back. Tailgates, packed stands, that buzz before kickoff. But getting in, it's a nightmare. Queues, price jumps, getting logged out mid-click. All you want to do is be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd. Well, the Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. I was looking at tickets for Bears-Giants, looking like $275 right now.
Oh, not bad.
Go see the boys. It feels like a game the Bears should win.
Hope to win.
So you'll hopefully see a Bears winner, and you get to see some dart and scattaboo.
I used it on Sunday for the Hawks.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. There you go. So take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. All right, bang. Today is Thursday. It is October 23rd. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. We are joined in studio by Rob O'Neill. Rob, I'd say you're a guy who needs no introduction, but that actually leads into my first question. Because I think a lot of people might introduce you as the guy who killed Osama Bin Laden. But do you feel like, does that diminish all the other big shit you've done?
It doesn't diminish it. That was an honor to be a part of that team, but I can't get away from it. Everywhere I go, I was relieved. I had a Boston coach car from the airport to the hotel, and the dude didn't know who I was, so I was able to talk to him as a human being, and he didn't ask me a single question about Bin Laden. I got to listen and talk. Because it's like, even with haters, they'll say, oh, hi, I'm Rob O'Neill. I haven't mentioned Bin Laden in 30 seconds. It's like, stop asking. If nobody asks me again, I won't bring it up. But I mean, the other missions were great too. And it was just an honor to be there because I was at a point in my career where I thought he was a ghost. We're never going to find Bin Laden.
Yeah.
And when they told us, it was, oh, cool, are we going right now? And they said, well, we have 5 options. And one of the options was, it's like, we're going to bomb them, we're going to do this bombing raid. We're going to do a multilateral with the Pakistanis. And I'm with 28 dudes from SEAL Team 6 who've been at war since it started. Yeah. And they said a multilateral with the Pakistanis. Like, oh, okay, just call Bin Laden himself.
And tell him we're
coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure he'll still be there.
Yeah.
We're gonna knock on the door.
Yeah. Have you found that it's lessened a little bit since the Netflix doc over the summer? Because I thought that was really
They did a good job. I was happy with that because we were able to meet the people who found Bin Laden, and it was mostly women. It was a team of women that did it, and they were awesome. Because it was painstaking to get him. We knew maybe 3 weeks before we launched that they found him, but they'd been working on him for years, and they had a team designed. They had a woman there that was kind of running it. That was her only job, was to find Bin Laden. And so when they came out with that, they did a great job. It was really cool. The emotions were really good. I called Admiral McCraven, who was he sold it. He's the one that sold it to the White House, and he, SEAL Team 6 guy, Admiral, obviously. And I said, "Hey, sir, you looked really good on the documentary." And he goes, "Oh yeah, my wife said that. I haven't seen it yet." And I'm like, "Yeah, really? It got 1 billion views in a month, and you're on it, and you haven't seen it yet?" And he goes, "No, and I actually forgot I did it. I had to look back through my paperwork, and I did sign a contract, so I'm assuming it's pretty good." I'm like, Admirals are just on a different level of what's important. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought it was fantastic, especially like some of that aerial footage of Bin Laden was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, it was a relief to me because we're really good at every branch, including the agency and the intel people, and then obviously the Marine Corps and Navy. We all give each other shit all the time. And so I would say we're always doing that. And I would always say to the CIA, because I work close with them, that the biggest problem with the CIA is they make too many movies about you guys because you're not that cool. And they would give themselves fake names, like, "Hey, I'm Rob. Hey, I'm Knife." It's like, oh, super. Hi, Knife. And one guy said, "Hey, my name's Goat," and I'm like, "Goat." At least, and this is before Goat. Like,
yeah.
So he's just Goat. I'm like, "That's dope. You gave yourself that name." He goes, "Yeah, it stands for Goes After Terrorists." I'm like, but then I met this team, and it was like, oh, okay, these are the people they make movies about.
Okay,
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is.
What's up, Mitch? There you go. No, just take a seat. You're good. I thought
sharp.
I thought it was very well done, and honestly, we're thrilled to have you here. So thank you for making the time.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man.
It's great to be here. Great setup you guys have. Thank you.
Yeah, this will air next week, so your 2 events will have passed, but it's great that you're in town with Echoes of Courage. You're doing the Ibogaine.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah,
and people need to understand with Ibogaine, that's for mental health, anxiety, stuff like that, and it cures everything.
Now, I had never heard of Ibogaine until we started prepping for this interview.
Thanks for listening to our last episode.
Yeah. I'm sorry. However, can you give a layman's terms just description of what Ibogaine is?
Yeah, Ibogaine is a plant-based medicine, so it gets psychedelic thrown around a lot. It's not a psychedelic. It's plant-based. It's from Gabon in Africa, and someone figured out if you eat the root, it's something like they scrape the root, turn it into some sort of a powder, and the way we take it is through pills. Mm-hmm. And they just discovered that it digs deep. When people say like your mind, you use a certain percentage of your brain for this and for that, like chess is different than tennis or whatever. Mm-hmm. But this one like opens it all up and you start talking to yourself. The brain starts talking to itself, and it brings up stuff that you've suppressed in your past, bad stuff you've seen, trauma. And it doesn't need to be combat. You don't need to be a combat vet. Everyone has trauma just from growing up, just from where you live. And it shows you stuff. You get into, for me, the medicine, and it's hard to describe. I've never heard anyone describe Ibogaine or 5-MeO-DMT the correct way because you can't. But for me, the medicine shows up in like a form of a person, like a guide. And then it starts bringing you to forks in the road, and it'll show you things. And it's like, okay, now do you want to see this? And we're going to talk, like you're talking to yourself, but you're talking to the medicine. Mm-hmm. And if you show something you're not ready to see, because it's in your system for 50 hours. The peak for me is about 11 hours, where it starts getting more and more intense. And if you start to see stuff that you don't want to see, it'll say, okay, we'll come back to that. And and you're seeing visions like right in front of you, and you can hear stuff around you. So if you can imagine, so there's for me it was 5 guys, all special forces, in a room, and we all take it at the same time. And you start to hear a ringing in your ear, and then you start to see stuff, and then you put on a mask, and you can sort of see through it, which is weird. It's not a see-through mask. It's like a straight up. It's opaque. You can't see through it at all, but then you can see through it, and you can this is my 3rd trip this summer on Ibogaine, and so I was laying down next to this dude from a Green Beret, like a 25-year Green Beret, and I had a conversation with him with my mask on. I'm looking at him, and then like I picked the mask up, and he's not even looking at me. Like we're not talking, but I had a conversation with him that didn't happen. And then you just start to see stuff, and it shows you different things. For me, it was demons. Demons would show up, and they would kind of taunt. And if it keeps showing you stuff over and over, like you need to address it now. For me, it was demons. And it could be anything at all, but you sort of address it, and there's like arguments with it, and like you'll start to purge. And that's where it gets fun, because purging can be, you're getting rid of bad energy. So the purging can be anything, vomiting. I sweat my ass off. There's bathrooms, which are fun, because when you take Ibogaine, you're coherent. When you have the mask on, when you take it off, then you realize that's not a mariachi band behind me. Mm-hmm. But you can hear that shit. Mm-hmm. And you hear people talking, and okay, it's fine, and then you put it back on, you're right back into it. But when you have to pee or use a bathroom, they have to walk you there, and it feels like your arms are about 3 feet longer, and you're just shaky. And they walk you there, and you're just purging up bad energy. And so I went 3 times just because of a lot of the trauma, and there was one demon that always showed up at the beginning, and he would like taunt me. And I'm talking like...
you're talking like a literal demon?
Yeah, like right here, and... like red eyes, yellow teeth, black gums, bad dude. And he would like, he's like taunting, whatever. You kind of get rid of. I finally went back the last time, and I decided, because you want to go in there with questions. Mm-hmm. Why do I feel this way? Why do I do this? Why do I drink too much? Why do I, whatever. And mine was, I'm just going to, because I saw this demon twice, two journeys. And I said, I'm just going to ask him his name and what he's doing here. What do you want from me?
Converse with him.
Yeah. And so I went in there, and the demon showed up right away. And I'm in this. So you got to picture a room, 4 other special forces guys. It's dark. The sun just went down. You can see the Pacific Ocean out of this room, and they're playing this loud tribal music. So it's pretty intense. And the last time I went, he showed up, but he was dressed up. He had a suit, and like he was clean, blue eyes, shiny white teeth, blonde hair, slicked back, and he literally was like, "Come on, I'm not that bad. Like, what's the problem really?" And I'm like, "Well, the problem is you keep showing up. The alcoholism's out of control, and I'm going to stop." And like I was conversing with him, and all of a sudden the medicine just hops on him and started fighting him. Really? And then I kind of come to, and these nurses are because it's medically induced, and they're like wiping me down because I'm sweating so bad. And then the Green Beret next to me is like, "Bro, you're fighting something underneath your blanket because you're in bed." And it was just that, and it kind of kicked him out, and he was gone. And then you go through the whole process of it does weird stuff. Like I woke up and went down to the ocean. Like I left the room my wife was there, and we wanted to take a picture. And so I asked one of the doctors that was there to take a picture of us in front, and he's like, well, we can't because we don't want people thinking this is a vacation. This is all for healing. And this is all, I'm hallucinating. This didn't happen. Oh. And then the doctor said to me, hey, you know what you got to do is you got to go back and make sure that all that money you transferred out of all of your accounts, you need to get it back in. You just bankrupt yourself. And it's like, what the shit is going on? And then I finally wake up and I'm like, I haven't left this bed.
Wow.
This has all been a big vision. And these other, and you can hear other dudes,
and your wife's not there.
No,
right.
she went, no.
Yeah.
And she would show up with our new baby and say, we're here, just take your mask off, give her a kiss, we'll leave. And I'm like, you're not there. And she's like, just do it. It's like, yeah, you're not there. Yeah. And then the other guys are having their own experiences, but sometimes your hallucinations can join together. So it's the mariachi band I'm not making up, because one of the times I was there's a dude from Delta Force next to me, and I look at him and I go, what? And he goes, what? I go, what? Hey, what? I go, what are you saying? He goes, I can't hear you with that mariachi band behind you. And then all of a sudden I can hear it, and we're looking at each other, but our masks are down.
Oh, that's
great. And so it shows you all this stuff you suppressed, and you deal with it. And demons might just be my thing, and it is in your brain. And then you have a day off where you've used so much energy that you're exhausted. It's a really bad hangover. They call it a gray day. And you kind of sit around, you're all depressed. And people, like, they take your phones away, because people in the past, it's sort of a learning process, have been like texting people, I can't believe you made me come. I'm going to kill you when I see you, because you're on that hangover.
Yeah.
And then, so you don't have your phone. You're sitting there with like coloring books and cartoons around and shit like that. And then the Reiki person comes over, gives you a Reiki massage, an energy massage, which is like, that's a weird experience too, because you're getting so this is after I began, you're getting this massage, and you have a mask on, and if I thought about it, I would think no one was there, but you're getting an energy massage, and she doesn't say a word, and she just goes instantly to bad shoulders, like pushes energy out. I actually I felt another demon. It sounds weird, and I felt it come up my ribs, and I spit it out. It's just me being sick or whatever, but it's like, it's a feeling of getting rid of all this evil, because you're purging it. Then you go to sleep after Reiki massage, you wake up and you do 5-MeO DMT, which is, that's the one. That's the most intense. That is a psychedelic, and it comes from a Sonoran toad. This toad comes up like 3 months a year, and you secrete its zits, and then they dry that, and then you smoke it. And I don't know what the hell that is, but that is wow. 5-MeO DMT is the God molecule. Yeah, and you see it twice naturally, and that'll be when you're born and when you die. But this medicine brings you to the edge of death. So you're seeing, I don't know what, this one you can't describe. Like, Ibogaine, sort of fun, pretty terrifying. 5-MeO DMT is you go to a different planet. And it's, Ibogaine is slow and it lasts. DMT smacks you in the face. The first 7 seconds are intense because you feel like you have died. And that's hard, because now you're missing everyone. Like, oh, I don't want to leave. But then you get into the Zen, and then everyone's there with you. Like dead relatives, living relatives, they're all there. Really? Yeah. And, my maternal grandmother was there, and she's been dead for a number of years. And she said, we're not waiting for you. We've always just been here. And then, like, I could see my kids, I could see my wife, and it's this overwhelming feeling of bliss where you're just in the spot. You don't have control of it, but you're seeing, there was a maternal entity that said in a language I couldn't understand, but I knew what she was saying. She was saying, welcome home, you're home. And then she said, this was crazy. She said, because with combat, for me anyway, comes a lot of what ifs. Like, what if we didn't do that? What if we did do that? Mm-hmm. Am I going to be okay? And she said, during this hallucination, the only people who go to hell are people who think they deserve to, which is just that's the forgiveness, but it's you forgiving yourself. Interesting. And it's like you go somewhere else. And I've heard you've probably heard other podcasters and people talk about DMT. It's you lose track of time. The first time I did it, I brought my wife with me. This was before Ibogaine, and I wanted her to watch because I don't know what's going to happen to me. Because people go crazy, but they don't realize they are, and it's only a matter of minutes. But I went down and I saw this stuff the first time, and I woke up and I look at Jess and I said, "Hey, how many days have I been laying down here? How long was I out?" And she said, "About a minute and a half." But I saw everything. Yeah. Like, we launched into the stratosphere, went around Pluto, and a minute and a half. But it's what it does though. So with that Ibogaine Reiki and then 5-MeO DMT, it shakes everything loose. DMT brings you back, and then all of a sudden you're just on a better path. One of the Army guys I was there had been dipping tobacco for 25 years, and we're during the gray day. He kind of stops. And he picks his dip out and he opens it, and he's like, "Oh." So he just quit dipping without meaning it.
Like that.
What do you think that is? So you said you had some alcohol issues.
Yeah.
Is it like a conscious thing where you're like, I understand why I have this drinking issue now, and this is why I'm stopping? Or is it just something that's just like a factory reset? Where do you get to like the base of why these things are happening?
For me, it was anger and sleep deprivation.
Okay.
Because I got to a point where I would be in bed at night and I had to have some noise. I had to have green noise. I had to have the TV on.
Yeah.
Something, because once it got quiet, then all of a sudden I can just hear everything. Because you got to figure, a number of years we're killing people in rooms this size.
Yeah.
And I'm talking killing 4 dudes in front of their families.
Yeah.
And so that gets to you.
For sure.
And then it's like, well, I can't go to sleep if I just take half a bottle of vodka, and then you sleep, then you wake up like, man, my head hurts. You know what would cure that? A Bloody Mary. And it just turns into a vicious cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
And some people can handle alcohol fine, but a lot of combat vets it just takes a dive. And like when I first got out, I was running into former SEAL Team 6 guys, former Green Berets and stuff, and they'd quit drinking. I'm hanging out with them like, that's great, you quit drinking. They didn't mention they did Ibogaine.
Okay.
Like, you just stopped. That's super. That you kind of left out a fucking important part.
Yeah.
But
So has that been the biggest difference since you've gone home, like the getting off alcohol, or what's been the biggest?
Yeah, I quit drinking, I quit smoking, and then we're talking in the Navy, so drinking, dip, and smoking. That's I quit all of them, and I didn't miss it. I still don't miss it. Right now, I'm at a point where, and again, I'm not trying to bash. I'm not bashing alcohol.
No.
People have a great time with it, but when I see it now, it's not like I'm saying that's bad and you're bad. I'm saying that just doesn't make sense. I don't want it that. It just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like Ibogaine cures infertility overnight. There was a woman that went down. She was a heroin addict, taking 55 opiates a day.
Oh.
And she woke up the next day after doing Ibogaine, and she didn't have any hallucinations. And she said, well, it didn't work. And she's laying there, and the doctor said, well, are you dope sick? And she said, well, no. He's like, are you shaking? Do you want heroin? It worked. It let you sleep.
She didn't even realize it.
It just let you sleep. So the medicine works in your brain.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you respond to it.
So
This is kind of a weird question, but like when you're having these visions, specifically more on DMT, do you think that was real? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So when you're seeing your family, like, does that feel like that was like a real experience as if you're here today?
It's more. It gets more into, I think, the energy aspect, especially on DMT. It's an energy, and it's I think there's a lot more going on around us that we don't possess the tools to understand, and I think it shows it too. I think it shows you right to the point of where this is, and judgment's a tough word, but it's more of a you're gonna be okay. Anyone that's done DMT will you're not it cures, like it's you got Jim. What did you think of that? I mean,
So Jim was on a couple weeks ago. He's facilitated this all, so thank you to Jim.
Sorry to interrupt you guys.
No, you're good.
But Rob, you hit it. It was it borders on the death thing where you feel you're pulling away, and then there is a spiritual like component when you leave it. There is that aspect that I didn't expect. And you talk to guys who did a completely different life, completely different places we grew up. There's an element that I was talking to another guy that Rob knows, a buddy of his, that like, wow, same, you can't make it up. Word for word, almost the same experience, same feature. So, and for him to say it like that when you're born and when you die, you're there because your first reaction, my first 5 seconds was, wait, I want to be right there. You're leaving. It's legit. It's not a dream. It's
as real as like this conversation
absolutely
right here.
You are full blown
wild.
Yeah, it's insane. If somebody would have told me that years ago, I would have never believed him.
yeah, and it's almost like something that's so profound. If you don't almost want to describe it because you don't want them to get scared. Like, and that's the hardest part, especially for a lot of first responders, a lot of cops, firefighters, military guys, is they want to control the situation. And if you try to control a psychedelic, it's gonna fuck your mouth.
It's gonna control you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to submit to it and just say, "I just take me where you go." And DMT is like, it's there. Like the way they do it is like you take a pipe and then they want you to inhale for like 10, inhale as big as you can, like, and then take another one and then count backwards from 10, kind of like you're taking anesthesia and they're going to lay you back. But as you start going back, like it just comes at you, and I could see everything 360 degrees around me. It's like a kaleidoscope of the most beautiful colors you've ever seen, and the music's playing, so it kind of gets you in there, and then you get into I was being lifted up by my stomach, and everything was like coming out that way. Heaven, and it's really.
The only thing I could add is Rob was like my coach before I went. He literally called me the day before. He just kept saying, it was literally the last thing I heard. He's just like, let it happen. And once that hit me, it's legit, man. It's legit.
Wow.
It still sounds like, I know, I don't want to say you guys are selling it, but it still sounds terrifying to me, even though you're describing something that's like as blissful as possible.
I feel the opposite. Like, I'm very curious about it, but
scared. I'm going again. I'll do it again.
Yeah,
that was 3 for me. And because now it's like a vacation. Because the way that Ambio Life Sciences sets it up is you go to Mexico. They stole chefs from Mexico City that I'm convinced are Michelin star or whatever. Okay. And so you get this kick-ass food all day long. They just grab these guys from restaurants saying you can have your own kitchen, your own menu. No one's going to mess with you. So you eat great. You do like a sweat lodge at first, an old school. I think it's 200 degrees in there, right? Sweat everything out, go to sleep, big bed, the ocean's there, all kinds of fresh fruit. And then, it's a vacation. Ibogaine going to be, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's like having a walking, woke up nightmare. But it really introduces you to shit you forgot about.
So compare the first time to the third time. Is there any sort of diminishing returns? Are you getting like equal value kind of every time you go?
Well, I think now it's better because I sort of know what to expect and know what to ask. I know what I want to get rid of. We do a fire ceremony before you go before you take your pills, and they have them. They're red pills because like you're about to take the red pill. You ready for this?
You're red pilling, yeah.
And so you write down, here's what I want to get rid of, and you throw it in the fire, and it's fun because you're with a bunch of type A personalities. Like no one's going to share anything at all. Yeah. But once you get there, and everyone's like, "Fuck it, I'm going to tell you my story." And even like sitting around, getting to know each other, like guys are telling their horror stories of war and everything, and other dudes are laughing, and everyone's saying, "I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because you're describing me."
Yeah.
Like I feel the exact same way. And then everyone opens up. You chant in the sweat lodge. This is straight up like native to that part of the world, like warriors. They're old school sweat lodge. They brought a dude in there with us that didn't speak English, had hair down to his ass, like from Apocalypto, and it's pitch black, 200 degrees. You're in there chanting, got drums. This guy's over there screaming. I'm like, I'm not going to be surprised when we come out and he's literally holding one of my friend's hearts in his hand.
Yeah, like that.
It's
Temple of Doom.
But just the process they have. And then when you get done with 5-MeO, that's the last thing you do, and it's like about noon in Mexico, and you're looking at the Coronado Islands, and they brought me this plate of fruit, and just the smell, like I don't even want to eat, I want to smell it, and like I describe it as I want to walk over and find butterflies and pet them. Like this is like, it turns you into a hippie, but everything's great. It's awesome. Wow. And then it lasts about 4 months, so I'm right at the end of it, but what you want to do with it is as soon as you're done, that's when you have to start your new habits, your new patterns. What are you going to do instead of waking up to a Bloody Mary? I was waking when I first get done. I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning, asking myself, is it too early to wake up? Because I'm ready. Like this is just a great day already. And then yoga, meditation is huge. And then I study French, and then then I get depressed by reading current events because I like to know what's going on in life. Mm-hmm. But just the way you get that pattern, once Ibogaine wears off, if you're in the right pattern, you're gonna be good.
So you start the morning doing yoga and getting a nice.
The best way to start the day is to sit somewhere quiet and meditate for 20 minutes, and that's just cool because you meditate for the meditation for me anyway. It's just sit somewhere and don't say anything. It's going to take over yourself, and you're going to get into your own brain.
Yeah.
But starting it off with that, and then you got to get sunshine every day if you can.
Vitamin D.
So this is obviously something that's big in the veteran community.
Yeah.
Is it an experience that you would recommend?
It should be mandatory
to people who are active duty.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell it's good because it's illegal.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly. So I'm sure the government's doing everything they can to
what would happen to big pharma if all of a sudden people are cured?
Yes.
Because
right.
I mean, they don't exist.
I had a dude $1 billion. Yeah.
I had a dude who was a command sergeant major, a Green Beret. So we're talking 29 years. He's not a new guy, and he finished this, and he said, so there's a Veterans Exploring Treatment Solutions, VETS. That's the Capones, Amber and Marcus Capone. They run that, and they're the ones because it's about $7,000 to go down to Mexico. They sponsor veterans because they're not making that much money or whatever. This Green Beret, who's a command sergeant major, when we finished, he said, do me a favor and call Amber. She's the CEO of Vets, and tell her she saved my life because I was going to kill myself next week. This was my last shot at life.
Wow.
And now I'm going to live forever.
Has RFK gotten his hands on this yet?
Yeah.
Because he
knows
a little
about
bit.
it.
Yeah.
It's moving into Texas. Gavin Newsom in California just made I think it's his first good decision. And they're bringing that into California. But you got to figure, the same Green Beret told me, he's like, I'm going to go home and I'm throwing all the pill bottles from the VA out. Because that's all the
Get
VA
rid of
does.
them. Yeah.
There's all your pills.
Yeah. Turning into zombies.
Look at, was it, I don't want to mention a bunch of big names, but there are companies in Pfizer that have been around, in pharma, that have been around for a while. I said Pfizer.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure it's Pfizer. 176 years they've been around. Maybe $3 trillion they've made. Not one cure for anything.
Right.
Good.
It's just keep them drugged up.
Well, look at diabetes. I mean, we could cure it, but why would we when everybody's going to pay at least $1,000 a month for
exactly.
insulin?
It's sickening.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
You can go to Mexico for every couple months, and
you need it once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cure.
Is it difficult to start that new routine that you said is so
No,
important?
the routine. It's difficult to continue it. Because what I did the first few times, you get done, you get your 4 months. For me, it's just I travel all the time. Flight delay. There's a bar right there. I have a beer. It's fine. For me, letting alcohol back in that's why I went 3 times. It's just because it would lead down that path. I didn't like, and it's just it is one of those things. So.
Now, how long do these retreats? I'll call it
about 4 days.
4 days. Okay, so at the end of it, is that when so you're leaving? You're coming back to the States? Are you cured? Or would you consider yourself
for me, I feel brand new when I get to San Diego Airport. So that would be 48 hours.
Okay.
Other guys, it takes a few days, but yeah, brand new it's incredible. It's you turn the page.
Hey guys, the NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Franz Wagner, Alperen Sengun, DeJounte Murray. With Pick 6, their stats aren't just highlights. They're your way to get in on the action this season. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats and unlocking the upside every game brings. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. No gimmicks, no convoluted rules. Just your gut and a shot at big returns. The NBA moves fast, and with live picks, you can keep up. Jump in as the game unfolds. Every bucket is a chance to chase that upside. Pick 6 is available in Texas, California, Missouri, and more. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code DOGWALK. That's code DOGWALK. Play just $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. If we can go back to the SEALs and the missions and everything, we had do you know Terry Hewen? Yeah. So he was in here last year, I think it was.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. And what I found fascinating was, because you were on that Captain Phillips mission too, was we're talking about it. We're like, how intense was it, to line up for that shot? He's like, man, I wish I could sell it and say it was like the most intense thing ever, but it was as normal as any day.
That's how cool those dudes are too. I wasn't a shooter on that mission. I was the lead jumper to get us into the water, and we're talking like 100 canopies to get to the 4 boats that we launched. But we didn't know what we were gonna do. We didn't know what, because to be honest, we didn't go to there to kill the pirates. We came to get the hostage. We'll do whatever we can, and we put the snipers. And Terry was already there before we got there. They jumped in a different way, and so you make sure nothing unsafe happens as we prepare for the rescue, and as we were preparing something, and they just shot. But that is kind of the way it worked, and everyone was combat experienced. Plus, if we left on Good Friday on a long weekend, and we got dressed up, so we're probably going to kill someone.
Yeah.
And but when they did take the shots, I talked to one of my buddies who was in my wedding, who was the lead sniper. Here's how cool these guys were. I said, this was before the Bin Laden raid. I'm like, you realize you just done the most significant thing in the history of the SEAL teams, and his response was, "Cool, can we go home?" Like that,
Dude,
they're very cool
badass.
guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how it was.
Because in the movie too, it kind of depicted that they shot and then they put the bipods up and turned around and went in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and that wasn't even the plan. But what's cool about that is we'd never done that. It was SEAL Team 6 was designed to rescue people at sea. We'd never done it since 1980. So this
Really?
2009. Never done it. So put yourself in the mindset of those dudes. Like, it's a long weekend. We've never done this. I'm going to skip work all weekend and I'll drink beer and I'll sight in my guns on Tuesday. They didn't do that. and that's a shortcut, and it saved a guy's life.
Yeah.
Is that one of the craziest things? Like, you never know what that next mission will be.
That was an odd one because we had just finished a combat deployment. We're going to go on another one, and it was my birthday, April 10th, and I was at my daughter's tea party at her preschool, and I was getting her cookies on a pink plate, and I got the message. I'm like, all right.
Guess I'm going.
Yeah, I'd look a 4-year-old in the eyes, and it's like, this could be it. This could be the last time we see each other.
Did you say that to her?
She knew because she'd been around. I've got a couple daughters, but this one was she was 1 year old when we rescued the lone survivor, Marcus Luttrell. She was 4 when we went after Captain Phillips from her classroom, and she had, we had friends that didn't come home, so she knows that stuff, and so she's very aware. And if that's saying, there's a difference between saying good night and saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Totally.
And she knows it. Well, even on the Bin Laden raid, which was that was a hard goodbye. So she was 7. She's always there, but her younger sister, who was 3, because the Bin Laden raid, I couldn't even tell them we're going. We're not. We just got back. We're not supposed to be going anywhere. And I said, hey, I gotta go to work, and I can't tell my wife at the time or my daughters, whatever. And so my 3-year-old went up and she grabbed a Hello Kitty carry-on, and she put a pillow and her elephant in it, and said, well, when you come home, you're taking me on vacation. So that's a lot to live with. Like, well, I'm gonna die. So,
do you ever still get threats from Al Qaeda or Taliban or anything like that?
Who I've been getting threats from lately have been Antifa.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Al Qaeda, at first,
Yeah.
and I've dealt with them. I know them.
What's that like? What's the threat
Yeah,
from
dude.
them?
Well, it's generally just loudmouths.
Yeah.
And it's not the loudmouth that's gonna. It's it's not the stuff you're thinking about. It's the Wednesday morning random.
Yeah.
So
Right.
there was a thing on the internet. There's been a dude going on Fox News that wears a mask, and he says he was Antifa, and he says how bad they really are. And then they have another dude wearing a mask who said he was part of the cartels, and how bad they are. And then they said, yeah, that's Rob O'Neill. He's the guy under the mask. Like, well, it's like, hold up, that ain't. I'm not gonna wear a mask. I'll tell you what I think. But then I start getting threats because it's me, and so Antifa's like threatening my family. It's like, hey, Americans, chill the fuck out. I'm not.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to be on the same side here.
Yeah, it's
right?
like I went to a bed one night expecting to die. So can I chill out here in the country?
But it's not like they'll like airdrop you like a tape or something like that.
Oh no.
No.
But I mean, but the thing, not Antifa, but like with Al Qaeda, they're not going to try to find me if they can get weapons into New York or Chicago.
Yeah.
They're going to find a place that's very busy,
populated, right?
like
densely.
They're not going to like. I'm very happy that we get to go through those ridiculous security checks when they could profile people and realize, okay, that this might be. And I'm just saying, like, how's he acting? Like the LL does.
Yeah.
They're not going to attack airplanes. They might attack the baggage claim. They might attack the huge line getting onto the airplanes to get through security.
Yeah.
And that'll be the initial attack, and then when the first responders come, here comes a secondary attack, and those are suicide bombers dressed as first responders.
That's
what's going to happen. And they don't give. I mean, if I'm there, great, good on them. But they're more interested in the spectacular thing. Then again, having said that, you got to stay alert. Which is
speaking of like the Bin Laden raid and Abbottabad, how often, not in a situation like this, but how often do you replay that in your mind? Like you're just walking the dog or something.
Every day, there's a few different things that I see every day. I mean, even when it's brought up, I can close my eyes and see the boots I was wearing going up the last set of stairs, and because that for me wasn't bravery. It was like, well, shit, he's gonna blow himself up, and I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm just gonna go in there.
Hope it's quick.
Yeah, I can see what it's like. I've seen suicide bombers before. They're terrifying because it's fast. Like it's fast and loud and permanent. Like fast. I had a buddy that was in a room with a kid. That he opened a closet. There was a 12-year-old in there, and he's looking at him. And he just clacked off a suicide vest, and the kid put it on backwards. That's why he lived. The kid didn't live.
Blast,
But and it's so, because the way that works is sometimes they'll put leads like a positive and a negative down their shirt to their wrist because they wear the long sleeves, and the vest is right here, and so all they got to do is connect the leads. So it's like, all right, and then that's why face shots. And then there's other moments in time that I think of because gunfights happen so fast.
Yeah.
There was a dude I talked out of. Well, I tried to talk out of going for his gun. We went into a house in Ramadi in Iraq in 2007. Went into the house, like these big palace type houses, and right in the front big room with the stairs, there's a guy with a gun. I smoke him, and then there's an open door. And the way the threats levels work is obviously the unknown people, but then an open threat. And so I went into that room by myself, which is a bad idea. And there's a dude in there with his wife, and he's asleep, and I'm at the foot of his bed at 3 a.m, And I'm going to wake him up, and he wakes up and he starts like freaking out, and I'm giving him the courtesy, like, all right, I'm in your room.
Yeah.
I get it. But there's an AK-47 right there. And so we're looking at and it's dark. And I don't know if he knows I can see him. And I start saying, don't grab that. Don't do it. He went for the gun. So I blasted him. And then his wife's right there. And it's like, and she, because I have to white light him to see if he's alive. But then he's all over the wall and she sees it. And then it's not at the moment because I'm in a gun. And he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But then later on in life, you're thinking, why did I shoot that dude? Well, I shot him because he went for a gun. But why did he go for a gun? Well, because I'm in his room at 3 a.m. Why am I in his room at 3 a.m? Because we're in Iraq. Well, why are we in Iraq again? Yeah. And then you start wondering, what if I met that dude somewhere else?
Yeah.
He's a bad guy, but you start thinking about everything.
But it's like, what would you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go for the gun.
Yeah.
But everything,
Totally, yeah.
everything this dude ever cared about doesn't matter anymore because I just ended it for him.
I've heard a lot of stories, mostly World War II vets, where they're speaking, and they're like, yeah, I was in a trench with a German, and we're looking at each other eye to eye, and we're both just shitting our pants, and it's like, and they're recounting the story, obviously, decades and decades later, and they're like, what if I actually met that guy during peacetime? We could have been friends, delivering newspapers together,
Seriously.
or playing baseball together, or whatever, and it's just,
Does that bother
with
you
me.
now?
Yeah.
Where you have these thoughts where you kind of work that whole train back to where like, why are we even here? And does that bother you now? And did it ever bother you then?
No, then it didn't bother me.
Okay.
No, and our government took advantage of the motion after 9/11 immediately with the Patriot Act.
totally,
Yeah.
and
Immediately, and they're revisiting that now.
we
too.
could go down a 3-hour podcast just on that.
Just to spy on us, and then George W. Bush had an issue with Saddam Hussein because of the first Gulf War.
right,
Saddam
90.
wanted to kill George H.W. Bush, and then they just sold us on. But as a 28-year-old Navy SEAL after 9/11, I'll invade Canada. Where are we going?
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
And I didn't give a shit at the time because we're doing body counts now. It's like, how many kills are you getting?
Right.
And I've never killed anyone I didn't mean to. So it's
Yeah.
these are bad guys, but you do think about because no one's ever thought they're the bad guy.
Right.
Everyone's noble.
Yeah.
Al Qaeda's doing it for God. Palestinians are blowing themselves up because I immediately go to paradise.
Yeah.
They know that we're the bad guys. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. We're the righteous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't. I mean, I revisit it and it's real.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before we started recording, I joined the Navy kind of just on a whim. It's like I've never had this like the killer instinct to go and start massacring people. Not that I massacred anyone.
Yeah. Because what year did you join?
1995.
So it was Gulf War is over.
Oh, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
that was like as peaceful of a time as we've had as a
like
country.
Kosovo,
at least in
kinda.
our
Yeah,
lives.
yeah.
Well, that's why I
Kosovo,
went to SEAL Team 2 because they had Bosnia Kosovo. That's
right.
And that's as close as we're going to get to war because Cold War's over. There is no war on the horizon.
Yeah.
And that's so yeah. I mean, like if you went to Kosovo or Bosnia, it's like wow, that's a warrior right there because there was nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's that saying, "Train like you fight." We used to jokingly just say, "Train like you train," because we're never going to fight.
Shit changed fast for
Yeah.
you.
Should
that's
change
for
real
Yeah,
fast.
well, it does too, and that's like again, that's how life works. I mean, it's just everything can change. Look at the lockdowns during COVID.
You had how you described being in the room. I don't think it was with Osama a couple of minutes ago, but you're in a room with the guy. He's asleep. He freaks out, and you're like, "Well, he's freaking out because I'm in his bedroom."
Yeah.
And I had one question for you that I wanted to ask. So, like you described, so I was 12 years old, about to turn 13 for 9/11, and if I were a handful of years later, I probably would have been like beating my chest, let's go to fucking Iraq right now. I didn't, because at that point, I was like, college, maybe not, whatever. And now, so fast forward 15 years later, Osama Bin Laden's manifesto to the American people had been getting censored constantly over TikTok and everything, and he's like, we're doing this because you guys are here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a macro version of what you just described. Like he freaked out and was looking for that AK because you were in his bedroom. Well, they're freaking out because the American government is over here in our lands. Did that change your perspective at all?
Well, at first I was looking into it because the reason because we were arming dudes, the holy warriors, the mujahideen,
Yeah,
fight the
in
Russians,
the 80s, 70s,
communism,
80s,
and I mean, and what's weird too, because communism and the jihadis during the socialist phase tend to get together. You're seeing that now.
Yes.
And that's done that historically, and they get in the school systems, and the school systems don't say they teach kids that, well, this has never been tried the right way, so it's going to work this time.
I can do it.
It won't end
way.
with us killing 8 million people.
Yeah.
which it always does.
Always does.
But yeah, I mean, it's I studied it because I want to know why we were going. And one of our biggest problems with senior leadership in the military used to be, at least, that you didn't know didn't know the history of where you're going. I've seen high-ranking officers mistake briefing someone on going to Afghanistan instead of Iraq. The brief said Iraq, and they said, "Sir, we're going to Afghanistan." And he's like, "Afghanistan, Iraq, what's the difference?"
It's a big difference.
A huge difference.
It's a desert versus a mountainous.
We're talking
terrain for
hundreds
one.
of years
Yes.
of culture difference too.
Did you see that clip of Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz talking?
Yeah,
about
he destroyed
Iran?
him.
Yeah,
It was
did.
awesome too.
It was great.
He
but like
Tucker Carlson treated Ted Cruz the way the WNBA treats Caitlin Clark. Like he just beat him down.
yeah.
It embarrassed him.
But was that like almost like a familiar nightmare where Ted Cruz is like
He doesn't even know basic statistics of the country.
Well, I mean, even when he tried to say, "Well, I learned in CCD or whatever Sunday school,"
the Bible verse.
he didn't know
we're-
the Bible verse.
but he goes, "We're supposed to support Israel," and he goes, "The Bible says we're supposed to support the government of Israel."
Yeah, that's,
Like, no, it's
yeah.
It didn't exist until
1948,
48.
No,
It's a creation of ours.
Yeah. But I mean, just to get back in there too, the reason that Bin Laden hated us was because of the first Gulf War, going to Saudi Arabia for Desert Shield.
Yep.
And so Bin Laden's over. He's either in Sudan or Afghanistan or wherever, and he's saying, "Well, we don't need that. We have these trained Mujahideen fighters." And then obviously, Bin Laden was a Saudi, and Saudi Arabia's Mecca and Medina, two holy sites. He doesn't want Americans there. We're there. That's what made pretty much the fatwa was declared on us because of that. And so they hate us because we're there. And then they're fighting us in Iraq because we're there. And it's easier to kill Americans in Iraq than it is to get to Afghanistan. And we're there because of weapons of mass destruction, which existed.
Yeah.
Because he used them on the Kurds.
We gave them.
Well, yeah.
We
arm
handed those
everyone.
weapons.
Coming out of Bin Laden's house, we were concerned getting shot down by American F-16s.
Yeah.
We give everyone everything.
Yeah. Did you?
American FC that.
Yeah. I mean, they were talked out of it by American F-15s. American pilots saying, "Look, we know your technology. We know what you have. We know you're an F-16. I'm an F-15. This is a bad idea for you. I'll kill you from 1,000 miles away."
Do you ever get pushback because you mentioned McRaven and all these high-ranking people, and then you go on shows like this and Tucker. Do you ever get people in your ear being like, "Hey, like you're the most famous veteran of this generation, probably by far"? Do you ever get people being like, "Hey, like why don't you not say that"?
Fortunately for me, the stuff that I can't say, I don't fully understand. Like the classified shit, I don't. I mean, I'm not an engineer. Some of the stuff that's classified it's not to do. I was smart enough to carry a sledgehammer and a gun.
Okay.
And that's what I did. And when the woman that found Bin Laden, because she's so smart, said go that way, that's where we went. And we were like, I'm obviously making sort of light of it, but I'm not discussing anything classified. Navy SEALs go into houses and kill people.
I just mean from like a political stance. Like you're like,
well, yeah, but that's just depending on which side's in power. Because like the Bin Laden pictures, they'll get released when someone needs them to win an election. And
that fucking grosses me.
But I mean, it was Vice President Biden said SEAL Team 6 before we were even out of our uniforms, so it's out there.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about the way you've done everything since you've been back?
One. After the Bin Laden raid, I went to my friend Rob Reeves' house. We were Red Squadron, SEAL Team 6. He was Gold Squadron. A phenomenal guy. Robert James Reeves. I'm Robert James O'Neill. And we went to his house, and he was about to go overseas for a Gold Squadron deployment to Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
And he poured a glass of wine, and this is before Ibogaine. I don't know why I didn't take it. He offered me one. I'm like, no, I'm not drinking tonight for some reason. And he said, oh, I'm going to have one. He had a glass of wine, and he looked at me, and he said, one of these days, a lot of us are going to die on one of those helicopters. And then 3 weeks later, he died on Extortion 17. It was shot down on August 6th. So this is a couple months after the Bin Laden raid. My regret is I didn't have a glass of wine with Rob Reeves.
Damn.
I mean, we lost 1,000 years of combat experience with one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's fucking tough. Where would you say was the scariest part of the world you fought in? Korengal Valley, Iraq?
Korengal. Yeah. Because it's a different planet.
It's Martian hellscape, it seems.
Yeah, we went. My first time there was when Marcus was. We went after. We tried to find Matt Axelson and Marcus Luttrell. We knew Marcus was alive. We thought Axelson was alive. We knew Dietz and Murphy were dead, and they wouldn't fly us in. We had to walk because they were shooting helicopters down. So we had to walk. We were walking to a point where fucking donkeys are jumping off the mountain because it's so hard. Like if you didn't tie him down.
Yeah.
We had a donkey that jumped off a cliff, and it wasn't high enough to kill him, but based on the sound, it was high enough to make him realize he made a poor decision. And then you get up there. I mean, it's scary. And like even after because rangers rescued him, we were on top of the mountain near the Shuriak, and they pull Marcus out. They go out in helicopters. We're walking. This is after being awake for a couple days. And now we're just on the mountain. We're like, this is why training is so hard, because if we wanted to quit right now, where are we going to go? We're just here.
Yeah.
And it's such a bizarre place. I remember seeing, like, there's people around. I remember a girl my daughter's age standing there on top of a mountain, and I handed her a bottle of water. Like, she's got to be thirsty. It's June. It's hot as hell. And I handed her, she opened it and dumped the water out so she could play with the plastic.
They're just conditioned for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different planet.
Yeah.
Like, and they wonder why. I mean, a lot of people who don't even have passports are wondering why you bring someone from Northwest Pakistan into the UK and he acts differently than you. It's like it's a different culture, and you need to realize it's a different culture. These are people that don't want democracy, and they're not.
So why force it down their throats?
Because that's what politicians do.
That's what.
Why do you reintroduce the Arctic wolf to Yellowstone Park when it's never been there? That's what they do.
They just did that like a year ago.
They did it in the 90s, and now they're over like to Minnesota and Northern California.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
They kill for sport.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a problem with people not doing, like I was saying earlier, not doing your research. Why are they acting this way? Why are it's just
yeah.
Well, I mean, even with Afghanistan, Pakistan, that region over there in those valleys, you got to figure, like with the burqa thing, these grown ass men have lived their entire lives without ever seeing a woman, ever seeing one.
Yeah.
You see a burqa.
Right.
You see R2D2 fucking walking around.
Yeah.
That you're never going to get married because you can't afford it. Your family can't afford to buy you a wife. And all of a sudden you're in London. You've never seen a woman and there's a chick over there wearing those tight shorts.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
No.
I
Yeah.
think
It's how you get.
How's he gonna act?
How you gonna act? Right. No, it's true.
I mean, that's why with the mass immigration and stuff like that too, you just need you need to be assimilated to it.
You brought up Marcus Luttrell, which leads me to this question. So at the end of the movie, and I don't know how much of that movie is Hollywoodified, and I'm sure a lot of it probably is, but they're going through like the slideshow, the real life pictures at the end of the movie, and it said that the Afghanistan dude aided Marcus Luttrell because of like 1,000-year-old code in
Pashtun
culture.
Wali, yeah.
Right. Was there anybody you came across in your years of combat missions where, like Iraqi, Afghanistan guy, where you're like, that's a lifelong friend of mine?
Yeah.
He was. Can you describe that a little bit?
See that again too. I with the broad brush stroke that I've been giving people over there, some of the most welcoming people have been in combat zones.
Mm-hmm.
There was a dude like out of their way to try to be hospitable. There was a dude that owned a lot of land on the Korangal, the Kunar River. All this land, Taliban took it away as soon as we came back and we gave it back. So we'd go see him, have dinner, and just got to know him really well. Very welcoming. Always had the best spreads. Like some of that food over there, just don't watch them make it, but enjoy it. Like don't watch them make the hairy hobbit foot bread, but eat it.
Yeah,
it's
don't
good.
watch how the sausage is made.
Yeah, and then like cooking the goat in the hole in the ground.
Yeah.
But meat, and like we went over one night and he had a couple bottles of scotch for us, which is cool. Like he doesn't drink, he knows we do.
Yeah.
And then one time he even said, next time you don't even need to bring guns. I'm like, well, I don't like you that much.
Yeah, well, I don't trust you that much yet.
I'll drink your Blue Label. I'm bringing my gun.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I say different cultures, I'm not saying bad people. Just
different from.
But when you go in their homes too,
Yeah.
even they've been a lot of people very welcoming. And some of those valleys very welcoming. And then you got to figure they got to deal with shit too. They got to deal with putting food on the table, raising their kids right. Wondering why these Americans are here trying to build schools for my kid that I don't. Why would I need him to go to an American school and learn shit when I can teach him how to farm?
Yeah.
Like homeschool.
Basic necessities of life.
And why are Marines building schools? That's not a Marine's job. It's pretty simple. Ask Secretary of War Hegseth what a Marine's job is. Break shit, kill people. That's it. Go to the gym. Is your gun sighted in? But I mean, the people have to deal with us being there. Have to like SEAL Team 6 is here at night. Al Qaeda's here during the day, and we got conventional forces everywhere. It's a tough life for them too.
Is there one misconception or one thing that's been reported on about the Bin Laden raid that has been wrong, that we've consistently gotten wrong, or does it sound like everything out there is pretty?
No, I mean the only issues I've seen have been in the room itself, just because of I guess conflicting. I don't know. Just what happened in the room. I was the only one in the room for a second. So I saw it, Bin Laden saw it, Amal Bin Laden saw it, and Hussein, the 2-year-old, saw it. So just other
Now,
Yeah.
as
If they release the autopsy reports, that'll explain a lot.
Yeah.
as a SEAL, I gotta imagine now. You guys are built different. You're wired different. I would imagine your heart's beating out of your chest in that moment, but your hand is just steady as can be. Like, can you take me? You're walking up. I think he was on the 3rd floor, right?
Yes.
3rd floor. You're walking up the stairs. I'm assuming you have an idea that he's in this room.
Well, I knew he was on the top right. Yeah. Well, the woman that found Bin Laden was because we had conversations too. I remember telling her, she's like, "There's this many men, women, and children." I'm like, She was 100% right. But I said, I don't need to know how many men, women, or children are there. Tell me how many people you see, and I'll figure out who they are when I get there.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't, so it's. But she said, okay, you don't want me to tell you what the inside of the house looks like. I won't. But you will run into a stairwell somewhere. It'll go to the 2nd floor, 1st to 2nd floor. You will run into Khalid Bin Laden, who's like his 20-year-old son. He will be armed. And she's so cool. She said, and if you can ace him, you get a shot at the big guy. That's how badass she was. So when we got to that point, because we landed outside, and my team was supposed to go to the rooftop. So the first team's going to fast rope in front of his house. So that's just like the helo hovers, kick the ropes out, guys slide down, snipers covering, then they slide down, split up. We're going to drop snipers a dog off, and then my team's going to the rooftop. So we're going to fast rope to the roof, jump to this, and we're going to hit them through the door, the windows, and then either way, we're going to go top to bottom. But the first helicopter couldn't hover because it was warmer than we thought, like 1 degree Celsius, whatever Celsius means. And then the updraft because of the fences.
The fences, I remember them saying that, yeah.
And so the pilot knew, we had the 4 best pilots in the world, which is very fortunate. And Army pilots don't fuck around. They're the Army pilots are the best helicopter pilots in the world. He realized if I power up, I'm gonna put it on its head, we're all gonna die. But if I can turn it, put the tail on the 15-foot wall and stick the nose in the dirt, we might live. And he made that decision like that. So they did that. Now the guys are in the fight. And so we put our guys out, sort of came up, and our pilot saw that pilot, and he just thought, well, if he can't hover, I can't. So just went back down. So we get out there. And I remember just putting my foot down, looking at the wall. I'm not on the roof anymore, but fuck it. We'll start the war from here. Gunfight inside. So by the time, we knew we were going to breach the door to our left, which is the northeast corner, which is why preparation is good. Know where you're going, but don't over-plan anything. Because the only time the plan works is when we're planning.
Yeah.
So we're going to blast that double door that we know is right there because of our preparation. So the breacher put a 7-foot charge of C6 on that door, which will open anything. He blasted it, and it opened, and there's a brick wall behind it. And he said, failed breach, this is bad. And I said, no, this is good. That's a fake door, and nobody does that. He's in there.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. So by the time we got inside, the other group's already in front of us. So instead of being the first guy on the balcony, I'm now in the back with a front row seat to the most important mission in modern history. So I'm just watching the guys and just proud of them, because we all know the house should blow up at any second, but it's not. The guys aren't hesitating. It's like slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You see guys go to open doors that are locked, kick the door, hit it with a sledge, put explosive charge, like just going up there, whatever. And then we finally get to the stairs, and I'm 8 dudes back, and they saw Khalid, and he jumped behind a banister. It's because the stairs went up, and there's a landing, and then they come back. And so Khalid jumped back, and now there's 12 inches and 2 grown men that want to kill each other, both armed. And so I'm like, normally I'm going to pull a few guys to get out. Fighting up in a house, they can throw stuff down. But I'm like, this house is going to blow up, so I got to see how this goes down. I got to watch. So I watched them. And we're really good at being quiet. We really shut the fuck up. And that confused Khalid. So the point man, first guy up there, he had learned come here in Urdu and Arabic. So he said, Khalid, come here, Khalid, come here. In 2 different languages, he whispered it to him. So that confused him. Because Khalid could be thinking, well, there's a crash outside of some sort, but no one's talking. It's maybe Pakistan's coming to move us. And so he leaned over the banister and went, what? That was badass. Like, how did you think of that?
And was that an intentional way to get him to lean over like that?
That's how smart this dude was. When I joked
that,
a
split.
He was. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah,
he did. And then so we blast Khalid, and now we step over his body, and then we get to the 2nd floor, and other dudes split off, and so now it's that dude and me, and there's no one behind us because we're just stretched thin. We got 23 guys total, including perimeter security, interpreter, the dog guy. So we're down, and so his job is to look up the last set of stairs. My job is to have not control, but let him know I'm here. And then his job is to look, his eyes go where his gun goes. My job is to wait for more dudes, because Bin Laden's up there, and I want 4 more of my guys, and I'll settle for 2. But he's in front of me. He's kind of pimping me. He doesn't know it's me. He knows it's one of his guys.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of pimping. We got to go, whatever. And what he's sort of hinting at, so he can see at the top of the stairs is a curtain, not a door, just a curtain like a blanket, like a shower curtain, but it's a blanket you can't see through. But underneath it, he could see movement. Mm-hmm. So he's thinking, okay, there's the suicide bombers for sure. And then he's sort of saying to the guy behind him, which is me, we can beat him, but we got to go right now. I don't give a fuck. We got to go. Because if they put vests on, they're going to clack. And so I know we got to go. And my version of the story, I don't know if his is different, is he finally said, hey, man, these bitches is getting truculent. So I proceeded to tell my last joke of my life because I'm about to die. And I said, I don't think that word means what you think it means.
What does it even mean?
He might not have said that. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, all right. And it wasn't bravery. It's like, he's right. Go. And so we went up the stairs. And he moved that curtain and he hopped on he thought they're suicide bomber. So this dude in front of me jumped on a grenade that didn't go off, which to me is Medal of Honor shit.
Yeah.
And because he went because even afterwards people are like, that was a big compound. How did you guys clear it? Thinking all complex Charlie Sheen shit coming through the skylight. It's like, well, here's how we cleared it. The guy in front of me went left, I went right, and then we just kept doing that. Yeah. Master the basics. Mm-hmm. Never talk yourself into an ass whipping. The ass whipping will be there waiting for you. Just do that. So because he went this way, I turned this way. There's Osama Bin Laden standing there, 5 feet away maybe. And that's him, shorter beard, gray hair, taller than me, taller than I thought.
Super tall, yeah.
Skinny. And he had his hands on Amal. I can see it right now. His hands are on her. She'd been shot somehow. And so he's like maneuvering. I see his nose, and he's like right here. It's like he's a threat. I'm thinking suicide bomber, bam, bam, bam. And I've even gotten shit for that. They're like, why'd you shoot him in the face? What about recognition? I'm like, fucking suicide bomber, doesn't care.
Yeah.
And by the way, if he blows up, you won't recognize him again. It's that whole joke. Where does a suicide bomber go when he dies? Fucking everywhere. So that's it. And I blasted. And then here's the human element too of a mission like that. When I was saying people in combat zones are, I move him all. I blast him. I hear him take his last breath. I can see smoke coming out of his head. He's got shot 3 times. And I'm moving her because other SEALs will be coming in. We are the good guys. I don't want her to get hurt. And I look down at Hussein, who's 2, and I'm a father. And my initial thought was, this kid has nothing to do with this.
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
And so I pick him up too, and it's like, oh, fuck. So I put her down. Now I got to get pictures, and I'm walking over to him. We're supposed to be dead. So I was kind of thinking, shit, I got to get pictures. We might live. And one of my buddies comes up, and he goes, hey, you good? I said, I don't. What do we do now? And he said, now we find the computers. Like, we do this every night. Hundreds of times, man. We've done this. I said, yeah, you're right. I'm back. Holy shit. And his words to me were, yeah, you just killed Osama Bin Laden, so your life just changed. Get to fucking work.
And what was the time that went by from after you killed him to you're back in the helicopter?
38 minutes.
47 minutes total on the ground. We wanted 32. That was our for fuel.
That was the whole thing, though. What, do you know approximately like how long it was till you wrapped it up? Like
47 minutes.
Oh, even after.
By the time we landed,
died.
I don't know the time from getting in the house up the stairs. 11 minutes.
It probably felt like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it was. I'd accepted death, so it wasn't. There was not fear on that. There was fear in other missions, but not in this one. It's like this is just how it's going to end, and what an ending! Like what a way to end your story. And I'm taking snapshots in front of the house, in the house, looking at the room. Like you got to remember this because this is it.
Yeah.
And this is on the first floor. It's like this is very historic for me personally. And as dumb as it sounds, we knew it was a big deal, but we weren't aware of the gravity of what's going to happen because we'd been doing this every night. I'd seen guys make worldwide headlines from missions they did and say, dude, he's like, cool, you want to go to the gym? Yeah. So we're just dead. And it's like, I'm just going to take this all in. But then he's dead. Now it's like, well, shit, look at all this stuff. There's 3 offices on the 2nd floor. He's running it from here. He's not some dude on dialysis. That wasn't even real. Mm-hmm. He's running Al-Qaeda from here. Now we're looking around and we're getting all this shit and you're looking at your watch like, we got to go. Yeah. Like we don't have Rangers outside protecting us like we do in Iraq and Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. Like we're here. That's it. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be, here's your morality. It's not going to be the Pakistan military showing up. It's going to be local cops. And I don't want to kill a cop.
No.
Doing his job.
Yeah, right.
Like we're not supposed to be here. It's like if we got invaded because there was their West Point was a mile away in Pakistan. And people always say, why did they show? It's like, look, if West Point gets invaded in New York, it's not going to be the cadets showing up. It's going to be the fucking cops. So now I'm thinking, this is a cop with a family. These are the thoughts going in. So we got to go. Let's get the fuck out. And just tell the family, sit in the corner. Don't leave because we have assets. Just stay in here till the Pakistanis come in. Then we're going to go out and call And we had to call another helicopter. So we had 2 more helicopters that didn't have the technology ours did, but we got to blow one of those up. So call in 2 more, which is ballsy as shit. And why doesn't this get mentioned? You got 2 Army helicopters full of Army aircrew loaded with SEAL Team 6 guys. So the Army and the Navy are getting ready to rescue SEAL Team 6 on the Bin Laden raid. That's fucking badass.
Yeah.
No one mentions them. And then they we get out of there, and then you get in a helicopter. It's a 47, a Chinook, which is huge. It's the size of bigger than a school bus with the twin rotors. People don't know that's the fastest helicopter we got too. Yeah. So you get in that, and now you take off on. There was a dude outside tweeting when we're going to get on the helicopter. He's over there tweeting. You can still read.
Oh my god!
And I remember in Iraq, I'm killing that guy.
Oh, you're talking to the Afghanistani or the Pakistani guy. Yeah, he's like military. I remember that.
Why would they be doing an exercise on a Sunday?
Yeah, in the middle of the night.
And when I looked at him, I was thinking I would kill him in Iraq because he's outside of a target with a phone in his face.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill him. But then I remember thinking, they have no idea we're here.
Yeah.
And so the helicopter comes in.
Yeah.
And now we got to live for 90 minutes.
Yeah, that was like an ass-puckered helicopter ride, huh? Like everyone was.
Can you sit it for 90 minutes knowing you could die at any second? But if you're worrying about it, you're wasting your energy because it's not going to stop a missile.
What was it like when you got back to your base? Did people know? Had words spread?
Well, yeah, because this was funny. It started happening in the house because the first question everybody asked as soon as Bin Laden's dead is, who got him? That's everyone, right? Yeah. And it was, I heard the conversation happen because my nickname is Nizro, N-S-R-O, Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill. And they said Nizro. And I was known for telling stories, keeping morale up. I know jokes. I'll make you want to come to work because the team will be better if morale is high.
Yeah.
And so they come, who got him? They said Nizro. It's like, oh shit, we're never going to hear the end of it. So that's happening. And like, even when we got in the helicopter to leave, one of the guys from Blue Squadron, Team 6, was from New York. And so he was in the helicopter, not in the house. And I sat down. I got the sniper from the Bin Laden raid right here, this guy, and I'm processing what we just did. And he said, hey, who got him? Nizro. And I said, I did. And he said, on behalf of my family, thank you. And it's like, that's a SEAL Team 6 guy. It's like, first of all, I don't need that because everyone's in here. So anyway, so we fly back. The 90-minute flight was crazy because all the thoughts going through your mind of we could get shot down, but it has been 20 minutes, and it's been 30, and you're looking at your buddies, like, been 40, 50, 60 minutes, 90, come on,
we
70.
Fucking got there, yeah.
And then all the sports shit starts coming in my head, like no-hitter, top of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, right.
Fuckers pitching a no-hitter down there.
Yeah.
And then the craziest thing, and I've talked to Al Michaels about this at Bel Air Country Club, I started thinking about Lake Placid in 1980. The greatest sporting event of all time. So we're 80 minutes into the 90-minute flight to fucking live. And I can picture that. And I set it up with, in that Olympics, you've got a team of American college kids that don't like each other playing the greatest hockey team of all time that haven't lost since, let's call it the late 50s. Every gold medal, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
They're beating Olympic hockey teams by 10 fucking goals. And this American team has no business on the ice. Like, they lost by 13 goals to them like 2 weeks prior. At Madison.
Yeah.
No business. And now they're winning 4-3 in the third. And you can hear Al Michaels.
Yeah.
5 seconds left. I was thinking that, and all of a sudden the pilot came over because we got to get over to Afghanistan. And he just came over calm as ever and said, all right, gentlemen, for the first time in your lives, you're going to be happy to hear this. Welcome to Afghanistan. It's like, shit, yeah. So anyway, to answer your question, we get back to JBAD. So we land in the 47. The other bird, they took our bird up to a mountaintop to refuel with another 47, so another crew from the Army and Navy. And then I run into the point man that led me up the stairs. So he was on the other bird. So we get together kind of like, well, his question to me was, where the fuck was everyone? And I'm like, we were spread thin, bro. We had 23 dudes.
Yeah.
It was us. And we're kind of going through the motions of what went on. And he's sort of realizing what he did because we're seeing Medal of Honor in his future. And then he just goes, hey, there she is. And I look, it's a woman that killed Bin Laden. It's like, all right. So, and the body's over there, just got back. So and the point man said to me, well, you got to give her something. Like, he shot him. And I was almost joking. I was like, I think a lot of guys shot him. but that's why I said the autopsy report. That'll explain some stuff. But I pulled the magazine out. I jacked the last round out, and I gave it to her. And I walked and said, hey, do you have room for this in your backpack? And she says, I think I do. And then I said, well, we have something to show you. So we brought her over to Bin Laden. In the movie Zero Dark 30, They brought the woman that found Bin Laden to the body and left her alone, and she like unzipped it and cried and stared at him, which is not what happened. We brought her to his body, and it started to sink in that the only reason we're here is because of her.
Yeah.
That's it. And now, you know, she doesn't have a husband or kids, gave up her life 7 days a week for decades. And now I got to think of something cool to say, put that arrogant ego on myself. And we walked over to Bin Laden's body, and this would have been good enough. I said, is that your guy? That's kind of cool. And she looked down for a second, hit me on the back, and goes, I guess I'm out of a fucking job.
So she was just like,
fuck it, that's it. That's all I do. And I even talked to her afterward in New York. We went to a bar for a football game, and I was like, because she was under like the reverse scrutiny. She knew he was there, but no one believed her.
Okay.
And nobody wanted to believe her. And then we kill him, and all of a sudden everyone's getting awards at the CIA except her. She got one, I'm sure. But I asked her, how'd they treat you when you got back? And she goes, I didn't even get a fucking parking spot.
did your buddy ever suck your dick for killing him?
How funny is that story?
Right.
You guys know that story?
I know
I
it.
don't think so. No.
I know it.
When we started, that's a funny story. When we started, they brought us into a room and said, we found a thing in a house. And this house is in a bowl, and these mountains, and this bowl's in a country. And you're going to go in and get this thing, and you're going to bring it to us and show it to us. And there's your brief. We're like, okay, I have a few questions. What's the thing? Well, we can't tell you. Okay. Hey, where are these mountains? Can't tell you. Okay. What country is this? Can't tell you. How are we getting there? Can't tell you. How much air support do we have? None. Okay, we're starting. That's an answer. We don't have any air support. No fucking idea where or how we're going. So it's April of 11. So we're thinking it's got to be Gaddafi in Libya. They just started the Arab Spring. Yeah. We're going to go get Gaddafi, bring him back, and ask him what he's been up to. And they don't want to tell us because we're going to be leaving a flat top on an Osprey, and their track record's not that great. They just don't want to tell us. We're going to do it anyway. Also, we're not bringing any Air Force guys. So those are our PJs, our CCTs. So our combat surgeons and our combat controllers, radio guys, they're not coming. Too much weight. We're only bringing SEALs. So if you used to be a radio guy, guess what? So get your gear situated correctly. So I'm back to carrying a sledgehammer. I'm a team leader. I'm carrying a sledgehammer now. So we're getting our gear ready for a mission. We don't know what we're doing. And like dudes would come up from other squadrons and say, hey, the super secret mission, what is it? I'm like, I have no idea. They're like, come on, you can tell me. I'm like, I honestly don't know. It's got to be Gaddafi. So then we go back up. This is how the joke came in, the bet. They said, all right, go home. This is Friday now. We've been doing this shit until Friday. They said, go home, be with your kids, have a drink, come back Sunday morning early, 05. We're going to get in some vans. We're going to drive to a place, and we're going to read you in on what's going on. I'm like, okay, who's going to be at the read-in? They said, the vice president, the secretary of defense, the secretary of the Navy, like all this shit. We're like, the
Holy
fuck?
shit, yeah.
But then they're going down the list, like blah, 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 CTC pad, State Department, blah. It's like, and I started thinking, I didn't say anything, but like CTC pad is the CIA counterterror desk, Pakistan, Afghanistan. If we're going to Libya, that just doesn't make any sense.
Right, it doesn't add up.
Yeah. So I thought, anyway, we come back on 05 on Sunday. They put 4 dudes per van. 2 dudes are driving. I'm in the back with my boss right next to me, and I explained exactly that to them and said, this isn't Gaddafi. They found Bin Laden. That's what this is. And my boss looked at me and he goes, that's exactly what I was thinking. So we're back there just calmly discussing it, and the dude driving said to me, and I quote, looking at me in the rearview mirror, man, O'Neill, if we kill Osama Bin Laden, I will suck your dick. And it was funny. We laughed. Then 3 weeks to the day, we're standing over his body, and I said, now's a good time as
there we go.
And he's like, he goes, fuck you. And I go, dude, we got 20
Deal's
more
the
minutes.
deal.
I can knock this out. Over his body. How about owning this?
Rob, dude. I think they got to run.
No, I mean, I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
For hours
So
and
I
hours,
was just,
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
dude,
if
we
you guys
appreciate
are
you, man.
around,
Yeah.
Thank
Well, we
you so
can do
much.
this again. I get here all the time.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be great.
Anytime
Yeah.
you want, man.
Cool.
We appreciate anything you want to get out there. Anything you got going on?
Definitely look into iBeGame too, and just make your representatives aware that it's just a healing process. I mean, granted, they're going to lose some funding probably.
They're the big pharma guys. They'll be like, nope, can't do it. No money for you.
They will, but that.
When are we going to get a Congress with balls that actually works for the American people? I mean, there are a handful.
Democrats have balls, and Republicans are weak, and there's your issue. Republican, like right now, what are they saying? They own everything. The Senate, the House, the White House.
Everything.
And all they're saying is, well,
Yes.
the midterms are coming up. And then as soon as they lose the House, they're going to say, well, if only we had all 3. It's like, you did.
Yeah.
You do this every time. You get elected all 3, and then you start talking about the midterms. It's like, get it done now. But I mean, that's changing too. But also another thing too is I'm in the cannabis industry, operator Canna. We're just in New York right now.
Okay.
But that's another thing too, alternative to alcohol, just, for sleep. So operator Canna, check that out too. It's good stuff.
Okay.
And echoesofcourage.org. Check that out. All right.
And then robertjoneil.com has everything that I offer to
Okay.
include my
Go
new
read The
my new
Operator.
speaking agency.
Do you have any new
Operators
books coming out?
Collective. I don't. No books, but at robertjoneil.com, I do sign and I personalize and sign the operator, which is fun because I'll sign within reason. But I see some funny shit. To this day, my favorite one is somebody that was working with someone bought him a birthday gift. And it said, "Happy birthday, Sean. You kill it selling mattresses like I killed Bin Laden. Love, Rob." That's all he wanted. It's like, that's dope. So that's at robertjoneil.com.
That's awesome. Rob, thanks again.
Thanks,
Jim,
guys.
Mitch, thanks for
Thanks
setting
for
it
having me.
up.
Appreciate it.
That's it, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.